A woman is suing 7 police officers involved in a murder case she says she didn't commit. Johnetta Carr claims detectives with the Louisville Police Department framed her in a murder back in 2006 when she was just 16 years old. Carr's boyfriend, Plains Adolphe, was killed the year before. His wallet and taxi cab that he drove was stolen. Carr was arrested and charged with murder in January of 2006.
Hola everybody, and welcome to another episode of Convoluted. I'm Jesse Asher, and today I'm going to tell you about a Kentucky woman who was wrongfully convicted for the murder of a 36-year-old man. It was a chilly morning in Louisville, Kentucky on October 23, 2005, when 36-year-old Plains Adolphe, a Haitian immigrant and cab driver, he was found dead and bound outside of his house. They noticed that his wallet, his phone, and his cab had all been stolen, and the cab was actually found abandoned not too far away from his home. And it appeared that Adolphe had been strangled. According to the National Registry of Exonerations, Adolphe actually had a 16-year-old girlfriend by the name of Johnetta Carr. Johnetta was brought to the attention of the police when the police arrested 19-year-old Carla Sowers in December of 2005 for the murder of Mr. Adolphe. According to a video I watched by the Daily Blast Live on YouTube, police came to Carla Sowers after they went through Adolphe's phone records. That's when Carla led police to suspect Johnetta and another person, Chandrick Williams. And according to Johnetta Carr in that Daily Blast Live video, she was interrogated for 11 and a half hours at 16 years old, and apparently no parent either. In that following spring, in April 2006, in the Jefferson County Circuit Court, Johnetta Carr was indicted as an adult, although she was initially charged as a juvenile. And according to my sources, Johnetta Carr was told by prosecutors that they were pursuing the death penalty for Chandrick Williams, and they would not accept a guilty plea unless all 3 of them were to plead guilty. And Carla Sowers went to implicate Carr into that robbery and murder after being interrogated herself. And although she was implicating Johnetta, Carla actually recanted her statement very quickly after giving it. And naturally, of course, like so many cases, there was some jailhouse informant debauchery going on. And particularly, they told police that Johnetta had confessed to the crime. Remember when I told you that when they found Adolphe, he was actually bound? He was bound with duct tape, and it appeared that he had been strangled with an electrical cord. And so they tested DNA on multiple items, including those 2 items, the duct tape and the cord. Those results came back to either exclude Carr or came back as inconclusive. However, the results were never shared with Carr's attorney, which is kind of a big deal. In the Jefferson County Circuit Court on May 28, 2008, Carr would actually enter an Alford Plea to second-degree manslaughter, first-degree conspiracy to commit robbery, second-degree conspiracy to commit burglary, and tampering with physical evidence. I'm going to quote from the Cornell Law School on the definition of Alford Plea. Also known as a best interest plea, an Alford Plea registers a formal claim neither of guilt nor innocence towards charges brought against a defendant in criminal court. Like a nolo contender plea, an Alford Plea arrests the full process of criminal trial because the defendant, typically only with the court's permission, accepts all the ramifications of a guilty verdict without first attesting to have committed the crime. The name Alford Plea is taken from North Carolina v. Alford. And so Carr was sentenced to 20 years in prison and was paroled not too shortly after this in December 9th of 2009, and successfully completed parole about a decade later on June 14th, 2018. Remember the snitch? Now, according to the National Registry of Exonerations, that jailhouse snitch actually told Carr that the police made her lie about Carr's confession and claimed that she would write a letter about the lies, though it wasn't clear apparently if she ever wrote that letter. So the reason that Carr and that jailhouse snitch were in the same room is because in 2008 or 2009, Carr claimed that she was called into an office at the correctional facility and she was in there. After all of that, Johnetta Carr, with the help of the Kentucky Innocence Project, actually submitted a request for a pardon from Governor Matt Bevin. And that pardon was actually granted on December 9th, 2019, exactly a decade after she was released from prison. So she was pardoned. Governor Bevin pardoned her, and apparently he actually delivered the news personally to her. Now, unfortunately though, even though she did receive a pardon, she didn't receive any compensation once pardoned and had to essentially restart her life. So fast forward a year to December 2020, and Johnetta Carr filed a lawsuit in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Kentucky against the city of Louisville, Jefferson County, and multiple officers, in which, according to, I think it's Lovey and Lovey law firm, quote, the officers were being accused of coercing witnesses, fabricating statements, withholding exculpatory evidence, and framing innocent people for crimes they did not commit, unquote. One of those officers was a man by the name of Tony Finch, and this was actually his second wrongful conviction against him in recent years. And according to WDRB, the lawsuit presented a different suspect as well that they claim the police never investigated thoroughly. So a little bit about that. Adolphe had been seen arguing with a man by the name of Steve Louis days before his murder, and witnesses claim that Steve actually had threatened Adolphe multiple times. So Ms. Carr, her claim was essentially that there was misconduct and a flawed investigation that led to her wrongful conviction. But in July 2021, the lawsuit was dismissed. And apparently Carr appealed that dismissal. As of right now, I'm not fully sure where this has gone. That was some of the latest news that I saw. So yeah, that's where I gotta leave off on this one. I'm hoping the best for Johnetta Carr. I'm hoping that she wins this lawsuit. I'm loving that what I've seen is that she's been living a normal life for the most part, trying to build a new life for herself since she had gone through all of this nonsense. And she's also got a couple kids, so it seems that she's doing great otherwise, and I'm just hoping the best with this lawsuit. Thank you, and Dankeschön for making it to the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it so far, as much as you can enjoy these sad, true stories. Make sure you like and subscribe and share and talk about these topics and these people. Raise awareness, and of course, more importantly, check out the Kentucky Innocence Project. You could donate, you can volunteer, and you can just read about what they're doing. Make sure to check out the National Registry of Exonerations. There's multiple cases on there that you can read about, and I hope you guys stay tuned for more episodes. Of course, I'll leave those links down below. So thank you guys, and adios.